Khloe Kardashian and Scott Disick respond to speculation about him getting her pregnant. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Khloe Kardashian recently started her own podcast called Khloe in Wonderland, and on the very first episode, she invited someone very close to her, Scott Disick. Scott is well known to fans of the Kardashian family, not just because he was in a relationship with Kourtney Kardashian for a long time, but also because he is often seen spending time with Khloe too. Over the years, many people have seen their playful friendship on camera, and this has led to a lot of rumors. Some of those rumors have been extremely wild, including one that said Scott once got Khloe pregnant. During their talk on the podcast, they both laughed about how strange and silly that rumor was. Scott said that even his own parents used to hear these kinds of rumors from the news and magazines. He remembered how his dad and mom, Jeffrey and Bonnie Disick, would call him to ask if what they were reading was true. He jokingly said that his dad once asked him directly, "Did you get Khloe pregnant?" Scott replied in a sarcastic tone, "Yes, Dad, I got Khloe pregnant," and his dad just answered with an, "Okay," as if it was normal. Of course, none of it was true, and Scott was just making a joke about how often the media made up stories. Khloe didn't want people to take Scott's sarcasm the wrong way. So she immediately said clearly, "You never got me pregnant," to stop any misunderstandings. Even though they have a close and fun friendship, they've never had that kind of relationship. Scott then talked more about how, back in the late 2000s, it felt like every week, some magazine or gossip site would say that he had gotten one of the Kardashian sisters pregnant. He said it got so ridiculous that people joked he must have had kids with all of them. He laughed and said something like, "Where are all the kids then?" Since, obviously, the stories weren't true and no babies came from any of it. Khloe also shared that even now, many years later, fans still wonder what kind of relationship she really has with Scott. She said that when she asked her followers online who they wanted her to invite on the podcast, Scott was the most requested person. That surprised her a little, but it also made her realize that people are still curious about their connection. She said that the two most common questions she gets about Scott are, first, have you and Scott ever been more than friends? And second, why haven't you two gotten married? That second question really shocked Scott, and he couldn't believe people were even thinking that far. Scott, being the funny and sarcastic person he is, made a joking comment when Khloe mentioned the first question. But again, Khloe quickly made it clear that nothing ever happened between them. She said firmly that they have never been involved in that way. They're just good friends, and that's all it has ever been. Khloe wondered aloud if people ask those questions just because they see how close she and Scott are. She thinks that sometimes, when people see a man and woman spending time together and being comfortable around each other, they assume there must be something more going on. But that's not always true, especially in her and Scott's case. Scott agreed. He said that people on the internet or in the tabloids sometimes don't care whether a story is true or not. They just see a close friendship and quickly make up stories about it. He even mentioned that some rumors connected him not only to Khloe but also to Kendall Jenner, Khloe's younger sister. Scott said these rumors are made up without any facts behind them. He explained that just because he's friendly and close with the Kardashian family doesn't mean there's anything more to it. Scott said that yes, he and Khloe are very close, and he loves her like family. But it's crazy to think they would be anything more than that. He reminded everyone that he shares 3 kids with Kourtney Kardashian, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. That alone should make it clear that he sees Khloe in a different way. She is more like a sister to him than anything else. Scott admitted that he sometimes makes jokes that are a little too much or not very serious. But he said that's just who he is. He likes to be funny, and sometimes that means saying things that people might not fully understand. He wants everyone to know that his comments are not serious and that they should not be taken as truth. He also said that thinking he and Khloe are soulmates is just not right. He said clearly that there's nothing romantic between them and that he finds it strange when people even bring up that idea. In his opinion, it's not just wrong, it's completely unreasonable. Even though he is no longer in a romantic relationship with any of the Kardashian sisters, he still has a strong bond with the family. His relationship with Kourtney ended in 2015, but they've been doing a great job raising their kids together. Scott and Kourtney have worked hard to be good co-parents, and that has helped keep peace in the family. They both care deeply about their children, and they focus on making sure their kids grow up in a healthy and happy environment. Khloe praised Scott for the way he handles co-parenting with Kourtney. She said he's always been supportive of his kids and tries to be present in their lives. Even though Scott has had some ups and downs over the years, especially with things like health and personal struggles, he always comes back to focus on what really matters, his kids. Fans who follow the Kardashian family have seen how much time Scott spends with his children. Whether it's going out for dinner, attending school events, or just hanging out at home, he always makes sure to be there. Khloe said she admires how involved he is and how much he loves his kids. Even though Scott is no longer with Kourtney, he still spends a lot of time with the Kardashian family. He appears on their reality shows, joins them on vacations, and is invited to family events. That kind of closeness can sometimes confuse people, which might be why they start to think there is something going on between him and other sisters. But the truth is simple, they are all just like one big family, even if they're not all related by blood. Scott said that the way people on the internet jump to conclusions is what keeps these rumors going. He thinks that sometimes, when people don't know the full story, they just make something up that seems exciting or dramatic. And unfortunately, those made-up stories often spread faster than the truth. Khloe added that people forget how long they have all known each other. She said that Scott has been part of their lives for so many years that they don't even think twice about him being around. To them, it's normal. He's like a brother to her and a friend she can always count on. Scott shared that the media can often twist things to make it sound like there's drama or scandal, even when there's nothing happening. He said people will take a photo of him and Khloe standing next to each other and turn it into something completely false. He laughed at how one simple hug or friendly look could turn into headlines the next day. Khloe said that she's learned to ignore most of the rumors. At first, things like that used to bother her, but now she knows they don't really matter. She said the people who are important to her know the truth, and that's what counts. Scott agreed and said that he also tries not to care about what strangers say. He knows who he is, and he knows what kind of relationship he has with the people around him. As long as his children and the Kardashian family know the truth, he's fine with whatever people want to say online. They both agreed that it's funny how people can believe so much that isn't true. Even when they say the truth clearly, people still want to believe the more dramatic version. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.